like right now, this is based off of 3 years ago. Patrick Lyoya, was he from Nigeria? Is he?
I believe he was from the Congo, was he not?
Yeah, he's from the Congo. My brother was riding his vehicle. It was had illegal license plates. Officer Schurr rolled up on him and was about to approach the vehicle, but Lyoya got out the vehicle and things got twisted and left so bad that it caused controversy. It got to the point where Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, and other political leaders had to come through to Grand Rapids, Michigan, to talk about the situation, to protection for the family. To now we at a point where finally the trial has began, and this is the fourth day. So
3 years later, the trial is 3 years later. The trial is okay.
Correct. So like this is the first time you're seeing this though. But go ahead. What was that?
Yeah. But before we get into this, I sort of get the familiar sense that this is another senseless police brutality thing. What happened? Can we just say real quick what happened with the cop?
Oh, nothing happened with the cop. Yeah, he's in trial.
So they didn't fire him, and because I know usually they'll put him on administrative leave, and
he's on. I think they fired him.
Okay.
Right, B?
You know what? I don't know for sure. I don't know if they put him on leave or they fired him.
No, that's a good question. Z, can you find that out, please?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
I believe he was on fire. He was fired, but let me look.
Yeah. But this caused a huge chaos in Grand Rapids, where they was like literally rioting. It was people that we never seen. And Grand Rapids is a small place, and I guarantee you, these people were paid rioters, because I've never seen any of these people. They don't even live in the neighborhood. Came through and fucked Grand Rapids up, and for some reason, they was able to rebuild Grand Rapids in one day.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Because I was upset when I was watching it on TV. I was like, man, let me go help clean up. And I swear to God, that they fixed that shit. There was so many people out there fixing these businesses up and stuff like that, like it never happened.
I forgot Grand Rapids had some little weak ass riots.
Yeah. So here's the video. This is the first time you've seen this, and this is the body cam footage of Officer Schurr.
Hey, stay in the car! Stay in the car! Stay in the car! Get in the car! Dude, I'm stopping you. Do you have a license? Do you have a license?
For what?
I'm stopping you. Do you have a license?
What do?
Do you have a driver's license? Do you speak English?
Yes.
Can I see your license?
What do you want?
The plate doesn't belong on this car. Do you have a license or no? Do you have a driver's license?
Yes.
Where is it at?
It's in the car.
Get it for me.
What do you want?
The plate does not belong on this car.
Amen. Drop me my light right there. Right there.
Can I pause this here just for a quick second because I need some context? So, y'all are saying that he's from Congo, right?
Let me double check that.
Okay. Was he new to America? I mean, not that matters, but I'm just curious.
No, he wasn't.
Okay. All right.
He's been here for a minute. He has, according to his record, he has a history of domestic violence with his girl.
Okay.
Yeah, shit to do with shit.
Z, man, I'm just talking, man. I'm not.
It doesn't have anything to do with this officer, because this officer didn't know anything about him at the time. So I don't want to pile on shit and negative energy on him based off of him being a victim and that having nothing to do with anything that has anything.
He was fucking drunk.
All right, wait. Let me play.
Okay, he was drunk. That's what I'm
play.
trying to say. He had different situations that was happening with him, and he was drunk when they pulled up on him.
I'm gonna play it now.
No. Stop. Put your hands right. Stop. 1915. Got one running. North south. Stop.
Can I just say this too? I know that probably I shouldn't be pausing, but I gotta say this. This is one of the reasons why I could never be a cop. I'm not chasing niggas. Like I realized that a long time ago that I'm not chasing nobody, right? Like running. And I'm definitely like if it's a non-violent thing, I'm definitely not chasing brothers. Like, yo, come on, man. Stop.
Right.
Stop. All right. That's that's it, man. Like, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that.
But he caught
I
him.
have some more stuff that I'll hold them till afterwards.
Stop.
Okay. Damn.
Stop.
Okay.
Get your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Hands behind your back.
Okay.
Get your hands behind your back.
Okay.
1950. 7 more cars.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop resisting.
I'm gonna do it to him. To you.
Let go of the taser.
What's the problem?
Let go of the taser.
That was convenient.
Yeah, that's very interesting to me. That's very
And he
interesting.
shot execution style in the back of the head.
Which he did.
And it's very interesting to me that a camera would be deactivated, but it continues to record audio.
The reason exactly the reason why we can turn this shit off.
I've never seen this part of it though. Have you?
I don't watch anything like this.
Okay.
I don't watch black trauma porn. I don't watch lynchings. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. Like I know I watch enough to know what happened and speak from an educated perspective about it, but I hate seeing shit like this. This dude died, and he's from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So he's a Congolese refugee. So he spoke English, but obviously broken English. The reason why I reacted so strongly is that I don't every time a black man dies at the hands of the police or a white person in general, he needs to be the perfect victim. Same thing with George Floyd. Oh, he did drugs, right? Oh, you know what I'm saying, had back child support, all of this shit that comes out that had nothing to do with why he died. Regardless of whether this motherfucker was drunk or not, he got pulled over because his tabs, his license plate didn't match. That's not even a felony. And it's damn sure not anything violent. So at the very least, just let his ass go. You took that L. You have the car. Somebody's sitting in the car. What is the purpose of tussling with this person and going through all of this shit when you're clearly out muscled? And now you've taken somebody's life over somebody having the wrong license plate. At some point, dog, like at some point, this shit has to stop. And we can't keep trying to rationalize them doing this shit. There's no such thing as an all-black police force, police in the white community any fucking where in America. I don't know of anywhere in the world. We're so used to them coming into our communities and policing our shit as if we need a goddamn referee to be civil. I am very happy that the judge is black. It's very predictable for Grand Rapids that the jury is all white. I really hope that the officer pays for what the fuck he did. Because it was murder, point blank, period. There were too many other fucking options, and the officer's life was never at risk. At the very least, just let the motherfucker go.
Yeah.
Are you waiting for me?
And he's clearly also real quick. This is the last thing. He's clearly also not trained to respond to the police the way that Black Americans are trained to respond to the police.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Comply and then just deal with whatever.
Yeah.
He's dealing with the shit as if he's in the Congo and somebody's violating him.
Right.
Because there's no way a Black man in America that was of his right mind would have responded to a police officer in that way. So you got a lot of
his right mind.
Either way, he should have never lost his life.
He wasn't in his right mind.
He wasn't in his right mind.
No, he wasn't. The motherfucker was drunk. He was driving. He was driving a plate that was illegal. Now let me tell you something before you even say anything.
I'm not saying shit else.
Okay, I know for a fact that if this motherfucker was white, he'd be talking the fuck out of him and shit like that and make sure that he never kills this dude. You know what I'm saying? I've seen video footage of white people with axes throwing it at cops. And the cops like, hey, guy, let me talk about it. Let's talk about it. So it's definitely a bias when it comes to that. You know what I mean? They definitely want to protect the people before that. For me, if I was an officer on duty and I walked up, I'm not even talking about Schurr. I'm going to talk about me. If I was an officer on duty and I happened to roll up on a vehicle that had a license plate that didn't match the vehicle. First of all, I'm calling it in and I'm going to get backup before I approach this car. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that standard protocol too? Like
standard protocol. Like the Grand Rapids have the technology to recognize that your plate, recognize if the plate is dirty, recognize if you have a warrant just off this computer screen based off the license plate.
But in the instance of something that is obviously so seemingly non-violent as a run-of-the-mill traffic stop, is backup necessary?
Backup's not necessary, but the control continued to heighten when Lyoya got out the vehicle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you put in the officer's life in danger. You know what I'm saying? What's going on?
So is it the problem? And I'm only asking you this because I know you went through the academy, in Grand Rapids. So is it the case that in that instance, should the officer have called for backup at that point, as this situation is obviously turning into what is a physical altercation, albeit a non-violent one? It's a physical altercation. Should he have?
He doesn't know the temperament of this person that's getting out the vehicle, right? And he should have called backup as soon as he got out that car.
Okay.
He said, "Yo, this guy that came out and stuff like that, I need backup immediately." They said that they was on their way, but they came super fucking late.
Because listen, I'm definitely not making a argument for the white officer. I'm not doing that. These motherfuckers do this shit way too often.
Absolutely.
And it's obvious. But I'm also wondering, I guess what I'm trying to identify is if he because one of the things that I didn't see with him, and this tends to happen, it tends to be a very prevalent thing with white officers, at least in those instances in the past historically, where the escalation results in the death of an unarmed Black man. There's never any type of de-escalation tactic that I see. You know what I mean? And that's always what tends to bother me the most. And that's when I recognize that there's this sort of cultural misalignment right, between these white officers and black men because they obviously don't know how to deal with us.
You know why? You know why?
Why? Why?
Because they never taught them how to deal with the culture in the academy.
Yeah. I recognize that there's definitely a lack of cultural training, cultural sensitivity, or understanding. You know,
we need to be. The only thing I'm gonna say, we need to be policing our own communities because we know what white people do to us. Like, how much more evidence do we fucking need? Like, this is stupid. Like, they've been doing this shit to us since they brought us from the coast of West Africa. Like, the first police officers in this country were people that were sent to find slaves, man. Like, that's the history of this country. That hasn't changed.
We know that. And during the time when I was in the academy, they did have a program where they were trying to get more black people involved. It's called Building Bridges in Blue. I wasn't a part of that because I went in the academy.
Yeah, what was it called?
Building Bridges in Blue, where they were trying to have more minorities build which is a.
It's just so it sounds like police academy when they had that police. Remember they had the citizens on patrol.
Yeah,
police academy.
That's funny. Yeah.
And they were trying to go into the neighborhood and be a part of the neighborhood as a way of being able to build
community
solid relationships with
the
community. So I got you.
Yeah, and it's like so they had Building Bridges in Blue. I wasn't a part of that. I went to academy on my own. That's why I'm at Z. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised he was fucking with me after he found out I was in the police academy. You know what I'm saying? Because he definitely had a lot of dark man braids and the fucking black power shit. What's going on, brother? Where your sandals at? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I saw your spirit, brother. You a beautiful brother, man.
Thank you, brother. You're a beautiful brother too. You know what I'm saying? But on the aspect of the Lyoya situation, you got to control continuum, and they heightened soup as soon as he got out that vehicle. Shit just went left. That cop got they got into a nigga moment. Lyoya wasn't having it. Lyoya was apparently the stronger individual. You know what I mean? And Schurr's pride was hurt. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't control this situation. And I think that he was a blunt of the jokes amongst his police fellow officers. And I think they joke on him on a regular basis, and he just had to prove himself. You know what I mean? To be able to have a story to tell, like, yeah, I got this nigga down, and yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He definitely was stronger than Schurr. Schurr should have recognized that and let him go, like Z said. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But what he should have did when that dude got out the car is already have his weapon drawn. You know what I'm saying? Because people can't understand language, but people understand gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would have got back in that fucking car because you're endangering me walking up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm pulling up on.
But there's you know what though?
No, hold up. There's two.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There's two different. It was another individual in that car.
Yeah. I noticed that.
During that tussle that was happening because they had different footage because they also had the guy that was in the car that actually had his footage. So they compiled all the footage all together to the ring cameras, to the to the phone usage and to the cam and the dash cam, and they compiled it all into one streamlined video. And you are tussling with somebody, you chase somebody with sandals on, and you got them on the ground. You mounted this dude, you know what I'm saying? And he's still lifting you up. You got scared because you're still a human being, right? You got scared because you know you was about to lose that fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? Lyoya should never have grabbed the fucking taser. What the fuck is wrong with this? Like, I don't care about how people see shit. You should have never tried to attempt to grab that taser. You know what I mean? Because you the one that was wilding out. You ran, you pushed him, you ran. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's a cop. He's going to chase you. Of course, he's a cop. Try to apprehend you.
Yeah, but I think, you know what? I agree with I agree with you saying somewhat, but I think what the thing that we can glean from this, if not anything else, is that it is very important that the police department focuses more of its effort or allocates more of its training dollars towards cultural sensitivity and cultural awareness, particularly in the neighborhoods where there are people of color, or whatever the culture is in the neighborhood. Because the thing is that this white cop, let me not even say the white cop. If this was a brother, right? Any one of us as a police officer, we do the traffic stop. We notice that there's a hit on whatever technology that's in the cruiser, and it says, all right, well, this vehicle, this license plate has been reported as stolen. Pull this person over, whatever, right? Turn the lights on, you pull a dude over. As a brother that comes from the neighborhood or just has an awareness of, the various people, various cultures in the neighborhood, you pull a person over and he gets out. He's like, yo, my man, listen, like, can't be getting out the car, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you out, let's talk. Listen, the license plate says it's wrong, right? What's the deal? Tell me what's going on. Why is the license plate on this car not matching the car? Right? You have a conversation and we can have that dialogue, because I understand where you're coming from culturally. I'm not saying that I'm trying to make it right and acceptable that you breaking the law, but what I'm trying to do is relate to you in a human way, in a cultural way, that we both can communicate so that we can get to the resolve.
I don't think that as an officer, you would have that same perspective of a vehicle that you don't know if it's a stolen vehicle, and you don't know if this dude got a gun on the side of a car.
And listen, I'm not saying that as a black officer, I'm getting out the cruiser and I'm putting my guard down. I'm probably gonna have my hand on my sidearm, right? But I also recognize that this is a black man, and I understand that we're all demonized, right? So there's a way for me to be able to communicate with you.
Yeah, verbal judo.
Right off the bat, so that I can create this sort of environment of de-escalation.
Right.
So that we can just have a basic conversation and we can get down to the root cause. The car might not be yours. Shit, it might even be stolen, and I might have to put cuffs on you. But if I'm able to talk with you first and be like, yo, my man, listen, the license plate is not right, dude. Like, tell me what the issue is. Like, what's going on? We can have a conversation, and then if it gets to the point where I find out that the car is stolen, then I got to run you in. But at that point, we've already had a dialogue. It's de-escalated. The situation is quelled, right? So you're going to be more open to me doing what I got to do. And at that time, I'm telling you, listen, the car's stolen. I don't know what your situation is. I ran your license plate. Looks like you got a couple of felonies or whatever. So I don't know what this is looking like for you, but what I would do right away, as soon as I take you to the station, you get booked in, call somebody, get yourself bail, and you'll be able to get out or whatever. Whatever I can say that's reasonably right, because I don't know, right? And I think that is why it's so important for us, as black men, if we're cops, to be able to have that sort of dialogue, right? And I get it that there's not enough of us policing our neighborhoods, but that's the reason why white men or white cops need to have that same level of training. And if they can't get it, if there's not an effective way to deliver it, then you get one of the black cops that's of the neighborhood to come in and deliver the training.
Just like with a female and something, to have a female cops on search for female. Okay.
They should give financial incentives to cops who are willing to police areas that they are familiar with, because they have some sort of, you know what I'm saying? Like they should give financial incentives for that. They send cops from one county to another county because they know that they do dirt and they're trying to protect the cops. Like, if the police, like what I mean by policing community, I don't mean having black police officers on the white police force, black police and the black, like that's a part of it. That's why Detroit, like the Detroit police, a lot of my homies have issues with them or whatever, fundamentally that are from here or whatever. Like me being from Grand Rapids and having been in Detroit for 11, 12 years, I can say Detroit police are literally the best police that I've ever experienced in my life. because it's the blackest police force in America, for one. It's the blackest city in America, so it makes sense that it's the blackest police force or whatever, man. But like,
shout out to Axel Foley.
word up, word up. But they have for one, they know that they have bigger fish to fry than like a situation like a license plate that they might not like. Shit, over half the damn city driving around with no insurance. You know what I'm saying? And they know that because a lot of the police don't have insurance because the insurance rates are so high. Like, so there's a level of understanding that comes with community.
That's
Whenever you have people that come outside of the community, let alone the culture, but you come outside of the community and the culture, and you're put in the so-called position of authority where you have a gun and a badge and you're given a bunch of rules and shit, and you can go and get paid to work out and to do these different things, and motherfuckers are hyping you up. You got people coming in from the military talking about how many kills they had and all this different shit. Mm-hmm. And you just graduated from high school and weren't very good at anything, so you figured that you could do this, and then you end up there and you got to actually de-escalate a situation. You're dealing cross-culturally, not even with black people, but you're dealing with African people. Like, yo.
Can I say one thing too? But for some reason they found out that Schurr and his wife did numerous of times in their lifetime, has done missionaries to Africa.
This is the cop?
The cop.
Okay.
I'll I personally, no, go ahead. Somebody else.
I'm saying, but like if they're taking missionaries and they're supposed to be culturally involved, you know what I'm saying? Then he should have been able to like you said, de-escalate that situation, right?
But no, but I think there's a difference between the interactions that you have with people that are arranged through the church that you're a member of versus pulling the dude over on the side of the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. We're not even gonna go down that rabbit hole. Missionary trips. I just think in general, I've seen black cops be belligerent. I've had some of them that I'm just like, you totally came to this community. I've had to call them and they come and they've been totally disrespectful when dealing with people with mental health issues. And I just think in general, like, it's all about tone and delivery. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like you said, what term you use? Verbal judo. I love that.
Yeah, verbal judo. Yeah, verbal judo. Yeah.
Like, it's all about how you approach people. Like, I can't be like that, or I choose not to be like that when de-escalating the situation and doing my job. And I'm not a cop or anything, but if someone's in a heightened state, or I don't know what I'm walking into, I'm not gonna come in there like, hey, yo, you, No, I need to try to assess what's going on and what their mental state is. You know what I'm saying? So, because I don't know you a stranger. I don't know how you're gonna respond to me. You know, so I just think in general that needs to happen with the police force altogether. Like, how you talk to people. You can't just come in. We all have bad days, and if you know you own one that day, maybe you just need to sit back and let that brother go. Like you said, don't chase them. Like, yeah, today ain't the day. I just can't.
They said that they
gotta have that self-awareness.
They said they was trying to justify on the aspect of him. We're watching the case live right now, and they're saying that they try to justify from him chasing him is not a requirement, but is not to be saying that that's not something that that's not part of protocol. Because they don't want this person to be just running into someone's home and endangering somebody's house. And they're saying this is the reason why he chose the J, because they trained him to do that. Right? I don't like the fact that you
trained him to shoot him in the back of the head when he runs away.
Nah, fuck no. But do you know what? They're saying that shit, though. They're saying that shit right now in the courts. And I look at the fact that of the dynamic of the oath and all the power that you have of the oath. I don't give a fuck if it's a prosecutor. I don't give a fuck if it's a defense attorney. They all in the same fucking game. They have coffee and dinner or stuff like that in the morning. Like I said, as a person that rode along with officers and I saw that it was like the Matrix, and you looking for crime all fucking day. You know what I'm saying? You got the power. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you psychologically just racist or just white. You know what I'm saying? You got the power to stop a person with your own fucking words. You know what I'm saying? Hey, stop. Don't move. Put your hand behind your back. You know what I'm saying? And if if you don't obey, you know what I'm saying? Then the control continuum goes up and it goes into another level, right? But it only happens with black people. It doesn't happen with white people. Because I guarantee you, if that was a white guy in the car, this shit would never fucking happen.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have happened.
You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't have happened.
But I'm not trying to talk doubly about it, but from the aspect of being a civilian and the aspect of just being in that experience, I'm looking at it as how it got heightened. I saw how he got scared as not being an officer now, as a motherfucker that was about to lose a fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? And, and he had to do, I guess, what he thought that was necessary. I know. I'm with you on that.
Boo.
I'm with you on that.
It's not a fair fight anyway. If I got all this weaponry and you have nothing,
you're right.
It's not a fair fight. So
it's not.
If I'm going in with all the advantage, I shouldn't get an ego fucking boost because I got you on the fucking ground. You should be on the ground because you know
he's still a human.
He's a bitch.
You're right.
That's the problem. You can't be a bitch and be a cop, but you also can't be some knuckle dragging Neanderthal that's just looking for trouble. It takes a very specific sort of personality to be able to be an effective police officer, especially if you're dealing with people that you're completely unfamiliar with, which is the vast majority of white police officers in black neighborhoods, man.
That's all facts. I agree.
Hey, did y'all ever see? There's a documentary on I think it started out on Prime. It might have been on Hulu. Corey Pegues, NYPD, a cops and robbers story. I'll give y'all the long and short of it. So Corey Pegues, who's now retired from the NYPD, I encourage everybody to watch it. It's on Hulu. But Corey Pegues made it to deputy inspector, I think, in NYPD, or he made it to inspector, or one of those high-ranking roles in NYPD right before he retired. But his pathway into the NYPD was a very interesting one. And I won't give too much of it away. You could watch it on Hulu. I encourage everybody to watch it. But dude started out as like as a street dude in New York with the Supreme team, right? And got into some beef on the street, and as a way to save his life from being, from being murdered on the street because people was after him, he ended up enrolling in the military, right? Did his 4 years in the military, however many you got to do to be eligible for the honorable discharge, came out, went into the NYPD, and he was one of those cops in the NYPD that he was a street dude, but he was in the NYPD, right? So he had cornrows, pants would be sagging, uniform pants would be sagging and everything. But the dude his story is very compelling, because one of the things that he mentioned that I thought was always really, really interesting and made a lot of sense and extremely strategic was he worked, I believe he worked in the 75th precinct for a bit, right? And this would be in the 90s. And his approach, being a dude that grew up in Queens, came up in the crack era, on the streets, selling drugs in the street life, he understood, what the culture was, right? And even as a police officer, how the best way to affect change in the community amongst the people that are doing wrong is to meet the people where they are. So one of his tactics, which I thought was really great, I think he said when he was in the 75th precinct and when he was a beat officer, he would, obviously see dudes on the corner selling drugs. And if it was the first time he saw them, he would go up to them. And if it was a small amount, a negligible amount of drugs on them, a nominal amount of drugs on them, he would take the drugs, confiscate it, and he would be like, yo, listen, I'm letting you go this time, but next time I see you, I gotta bring you in. Like, I don't want to do this with you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's speaking the lingo. You know, I don't want to do this with you, bro. Like, I'm trying to help you here. There's a better path for you. Right. And through that approach, everybody got to know him in the neighborhood. And everybody respected him. At least, you know, most people respected him in the neighborhood.
Because he's building a rapport.
He's building a rapport, but he's also meeting the people where they are.
Yeah.
Right. And,
and
recognizes that he can, in fact, affect change by showing the people that, you know, we're one and the same, we're from the same place. Right. And it's that type of cultural sensitivity and awareness that he had that would allow him to rise through the NYPD ranks fairly quickly, right? Even when all these white Italian racist officers, right, that were patrolling our neighborhoods, Brownsville, East New York in the 90s, he was able to take detective exams and knock them out and score real high, right? And then take inspector exams and knock them out and score real high. And then go to grad school, and go to college, get his degree, go to grad school, get his degree. It's a great story. And this is the type of policing that we need. You know what I mean? So to Z's point, how do we entice people or people from our community to come back? I think the best way to do it is, as Z mentioned, or one of the best ways to do it is be able to incentivize people, right? Like if you're from the community and you recognize that to affect change in the community and to build community relations is to bring people back that are from the community, then incentivize people. Don't just take the kid, I'm gonna use NYPD. Don't just take the kid that grew up in Long Island that becomes a NYPD police officer and put him in East New York. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not going to have any idea on what to do. You can't put him in Red Hook and or Albany Projects. You know what I'm saying? Or Brevoort. You can't put him in those, or Marcy. You can't do any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So I do think for us, one of the biggest shortcomings with the NYPD is not the NYPD, but just police, local police departments all across the country, is that they just don't freaking recognize the importance of cultural alignment and having cultural awareness as a way to be able to have effective community policing programs in the neighborhood. The best community policing program is not the one that polices people, but is the one that joins forces with the people to protect the community and make an environment great for everyone. You know what I mean? So to this point, what we're watching here, what should have happened is this cop, he should have had the proper training to say the exact same way, like we said, this, you know, how we would jump out the cruiser and be like, yo, take it easy, big man. Listen, yo, your plates, something ain't right with it. Let's talk through this. I'm not saying that should be his, the white officer's lingo, right? Because that probably don't sound right and it sounds forced. But there's a same way to be able to convey the same level of comfort, if you will, right? And an intent to de-escalate from jump. And that's how we start to sow those seeds of effective community policing, no matter if you're white or black, and no matter what community you're in, you know?
How would you think is a strategy to get somebody from the community to be involved with the community besides the incentive and the stigma of being an officer in the community, as the stigma of being a sellout or being a snitch, all those horrible stigmas that black men that's trying to do the right thing, you know? How do you encourage them? Like, what would be a strategy besides the money? You know what I'm saying? Because even if the dude takes the money, he could still be a dirty ass cop, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like,
Sure.
how do you find the right fit? How do you get to have that conversation with officers of another color? You know what I'm saying? To get the understanding that you the right fit to be in your own community, policing their own community. I think it's a great, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Strategy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've seen very calm environments with black cops around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? North Carolina for one. You know, so but how do you? And I'm looking on the aspect of Grand Rapids, Michigan. How do you get anyone to do that? You know what I'm saying? And when you get that person, are they really going to be swearing to the oath? You know what I'm saying? Because the oath is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, B.
I always say that when you really want to evoke change, you got to have things happening at multiple levels. And I just think that being a police officer is not an attractive career to most people, period. And so if you want to change that, you want to change that image, you got to have something happen even in the like elementary school. Do they still have like hall monitors? That's a soft intro to being an officer. You know what I'm saying? Do they still have the crossing guards? Do they encourage kids to have those responsibilities in school anymore? Do they have those programs? You know what I'm saying? It's just like you have to start at multiple.
No, I haven't. I mean, I'm not shaking my head as it was that you're not wrong. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah. But you know what, Brandy? That's a good point though. Let me. I remember when my kids were in elementary school. My two oldest, particularly, when you get to be in like 5th grade, which is where they graduate from elementary school and go into middle school, they get picked based on based on being well-behaved kids and having good grades. They can become hall monitors, right? And they get this little green sash that they wear, and for maybe a period or two.
Stop for a minute before you say that. For some reason you're glitching out like crazy.
A few moments later.
Honestly, Z, I think he's gonna beat that case, man.
I hope so. That's our black woman judge. I hope so.
No, I think that he's gonna beat. I think that lawyer, Schurr's gonna beat that case, man.
Somebody testified against him. That was unlikely to me. It was a police officer, I believe. Either day 1 or day 2. I feel like the cop is gonna win because it's in West Michigan, man. Like, I know how racist the place is. Man. Like,
I could tell by how the prosecuting attorney is asking questions. It's just
that part.
Yeah,
we're all friends.
And that's a given. Like I tried to explain this to some of my coworkers about like when we take cases to court. Our lawyer has their kids go to school together, so they play nice in court. The way they present cases and stuff is not going to be as how can I put it? Like an attorney from Detroit, when I see them in our courtrooms, they're a lot more brash than the attorneys from Grand Rapids. So
absolutely,
yeah.
Because have you been watching it on the case?
I watched some of it today. I was watching it today.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at it like they might lower that shit to like fucking manslaughter or something like that if they can lower it. Cause I know they tried to do a mistrial and the judge was like, nope. You know what I mean?
And this all comes as Grand Rapids Police Department pulls out their shiny new show on HBO. Like, what a slap in the face, dog. Like, what a fucking slap in the face, man. They're playing with us in our face. Like, that's what I mean about policing our own community. Like, we need men in our communities that stop. Like, all right, so if you do something, and y'all being from Brooklyn, like y'all know better than I do. Do something to a Sicilian girl in Brooklyn. You will be calling the police because you will be trying to get them off of you.
That's a fact.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what the fuck I mean by community policing. I don't mean a foreign entity, you know what I'm saying, with authority to do anything to us. I mean us handling the shit before it even gets to anything else. So much so that the police aren't welcome, man. Like, the police have, like, in the 400 and however many 50 some odd year history of this country, the police have never been friends of black people. We are foolish to believe that they're going to start now. Like, yeah, the bad apple shit, yeah, for sure. Like, I get it, but there's a lot of bad apples, and there's also a lot of bad policy, and there's also a lot of bad protocol that leads to our people consistently being mishandled, mistreated, you know, by them or whatever, man. So, you know, I've seen very few. I know some good cops or whatever. There's some, you know, police or whatever that I look highly of as people or whatever personally, man. But as far as the system is concerned, it's completely corrupt, and it's an occupying force within our neighborhoods that simply does not need to exist if we do what we're supposed to do, man.
It's such a difficult situation to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at the details of him grabbing. I just hated the fact that he tried to do that. Cause that
They tried to grab the
automatically,
taser,
yeah, I just hated the fact that he tried to do that shit. You
but
know
the
what I'm
whole
saying?
the
Because
whole
that,
thing about being tased is you lose control. If you're dumb enough to tase me within arm's distance, yeah, I'm grabbing the fucking taser. Like, yo, don't fucking. He's talking about let go of the taser.
Instinctually.
Motherfucker, stop tasing me, nigga.
I
Like,
hear that, but that gave him a reason to do that.
Loyola did everything wrong. Everything wrong.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
he
that gave Schurr a reason to pop him.
He should be locked up and have due process. He did not have any weapon on him. He did not pose any threat to the officer other than the threat of fleeing. He was not trying to fight this dude. He was trying to get up out of there. At the very worst, the officer would have had an accomplice in the car and the car itself that he stopped because he thought it might have been stolen. There's literally no reason that Patrick Lyoya is not in somebody's jail waiting to be tried for his dumbass actions right now. There's literally no justification for that, bro. Like, there's no justification for it. Like, he did not act right. I'm not justifying his behavior to the officer. We know as black men that's not how you respond to police. We know that. We've been well trained in this country because we understand the history of this country and the history of racism and what the fuck the police do to black people that do not comply and capitulate. We understand that. He does not. He did not get that. He did not get that memo, brother. You know what I'm saying? He ain't get that memo, but because he didn't.
Hold up. So, like, if I'm about to rob you and I got a gun in your face, you gonna reach for that gun?
If it's close enough that I can grab that motherfucker, you better rob me from a distance. If you got a gun out, huh?
You're gonna get shot.
If you rob me close enough,
if I have a gun on you, or somebody has a gun on you, and it's in close range, if you're bold enough to go for the gun and actually step out the waist of the line of fire, you may have a chance. You know what I'm saying? But if you reaching out, you know what I'm saying, in an inebriated state, you will get shot. That's guaranteed. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, like certain languages, you know what I'm saying, crosses beyond the language barrier. Are like, yo, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Do you know how many conflicts? You know how many conflicts I've gotten in, and I carry. You know what I'm saying? I can still carry whatever I have my license. I've gotten in several conflicts since I have in the 10 to 12 years or whatever, a little bit longer than that, because I got my LLC when I was in Grand Rapids, or LLC, CPL, excuse me, LLC. That's hilarious. Having a gun has kept me out of conflicts that if I did not have a gun on me, I would have engaged it.
Yeah.
The reason why I stayed out of the conflict was because I did not want it to get to a point that I may have to take somebody's life. Because if my gun was exposed, they would feel the need to have to take mine.
Absolutely.
That's what police officers deal with every day. So if we're talking about an improperly parked car, if we're talking about a car that might be stolen, if we're talking about anything that is non-violent, I don't give a damn if he thought he had bricks in the trunk. This is not a situation where he should not be here. He clearly was not the brightest brother in his dealings with the police. He clearly was not trained, but he should not. Whatever it was.
He was drunk. No, I'm not gonna let you do that. He was drunk.
How are you not gonna? Okay,
listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. Z, listen what the fuck I'm saying, please.
The officer to
you listen what I'm saying right now.
Was the officer threatened because he was drunk?
All the dude was trying to do was try to apprehend this nigga.
And all the nigga was trying to do was not be apprehended.
By any means necessary.
So dying isn't necessary either.
Dying is never necessary, nigga. You think it like
Dying's
a fucking
necessary
justifying?
sometimes.
Hold up, time out. You thinking that I'm justifying him getting shot, nigga? No.
That's
But
your conscience speaking. I didn't say that.
No, stop. There's nigga situations that happen that you don't fucking need to be in.
Yes.
Out of the nigga situations. Niggas are doing stupid shit on a fucking regular basis.
And police are doing
stupid shit.
Police are doing stupid shit on a regular basis.
Absolutely right. As a human being that got a badge in the fucking bulletproof
and
vest,
he's not even a nigga. He's from the Congo. He's somebody that I would.
You acting like he don't understand gun.
I would be offended if he called me nigga. He's not a nigga. He's an African. That's a different situation.
He know gun. You know what I'm saying? He knows gun. There's a whole bunch of kids out there in the Congo shooting people up right now. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Not with yellow guns.
Look, it was a stupid fucking situation that happened. And he ended up losing his fucking life.
Dare I say he didn't see the gun because he got shot in the back of his head? He saw the taser.
He saw the taser.
And that's like yellow. That might have confused the brother from the Congo. They got tasers in the Congo?
I'm done. I'm out the conversation, man.
That's some new technology, man. And I'm not even trying to slight my brothers and sisters in the Congo.
You are, bro. Like that's like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? These niggas got billy clubs and shit like that. What the fuck you doing? What is this? That's what they do.
They don't. You know they don't tase each other. They're off. There was a cultural.
It was like, whoa, what is that? And he
yellow.
Shit? Or he was just bolted up because he was inebriated. He was like over the limit.
If you tase me, bro, I swear to God, if anybody, God forbid, I ever get tased, but if anybody ever tases me and I'm within arm distance, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm going for the motherfucking taser.
Yeah, okay. Can I? You know what? If I could say this, I think it really is just an instinctual response.
Yeah.
Right? Like if somebody pulls a taser out on you or whatever and you're in arm's reach, I mean, whether you know what it is or not, you know that if somebody's pointing something at you, it's intended to do harm to you in some way. Right? But incapacitate you. So instinctually, you're gonna grab for it and be like, if you can, to try to keep it off of you.
Okay,
you know?
So why all right, let's go. Let's take it back. Why did he grab the taser?
I just said it. It's instinctual.
No, why did he grab the taser?
Who was he? The cop?
No, Lyoya. Why did he grab the taser?
It's instinctual.
Why did he pull out the taser?
The cop?
The cop. Why did he pull out the taser?
I guess because at that point he felt like there was nothing else that he could do. He obviously felt that he needed to incapacitate him in some way. Why did he
feel like he needed to incapacitate him?
He chose not to let the dude flee.
Why did he choose not to let the dude flee?
I don't know. That's the question.
Because he fled, right?
I mean, shit, bro. Let a motherfucker run. You got the car, bro. You have the car.
Let's take it back. I just want people to look. They think critically.
This nigga's not Osama bin Laden,
bro. Let's think about it critically. Why did he fucking flee?
Why did the dude flee?
Why did Lyoya flee?
He ain't feel like dealing with the police. I don't know, bro.
Why did Lyoya not feel like dealing with the police?
The same reason I fucking don't. What are we doing?
Are you
I just want to go back to the origin of it. Why?
No, can I get it? I think you're asking these questions because you want us to think critically about this. But the thing is that you're asking us to answer something that we
no.
Okay,
No.
All right.
We're talking about the taser situation of having a natural situation, a natural reaction.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
what I'm saying? So we're going backwards real quick. Why did he fucking try to reach for the taser? Because the nigga was wild and he got apprehended because he was trying to get the fucking way. He couldn't get, and the cop couldn't get his way with this kid because he was too weak to like actually apprehend this dude. So he thought so the next control continuum, you know what I'm saying, with that is to use that because he didn't use the firearm yet. You know what I'm saying? So he pulled it out, he weaved it. It was two different charges that happened, and there's still another charge that, you know what I'm saying, that connect. That will actually, you know what I'm saying, make your body feel weird and stuff like that. And none of that ever happened to him.
What are you talking about on the taser?
On the taser. There's two different
cartridges. So there's two, for lack of a better term, there's two deployments on the
That's correct.
On the charger. Okay.
That's
I
correct.
mean,
I don't want to get shot with a taser either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're not actually going to do this shit. But why the fuck did it get to that point? Because he fled. Why did he fled? Because he was dirty. You know what I'm saying?
But I think you're answering a question that none of us will ever have an answer to. We don't know what the circumstances are, right? So I think, listen, I grant you that we can reasonably deduce that something wasn't right if dude is in the car and there's a plate on the car that don't belong to the car. There's something clearly not right there. But listen,
in the car.
Huh?
I would have stayed in the car.
You saying you would have stayed in the car? The dude, the what's his name? Lyoya. Am I saying it right? Okay.
Yeah. Because
I don't know why he didn't stay in the car.
Because these niggas don't give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Africa, so he doesn't understand that the cops don't give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're fucking drunk. You know what I'm saying? And you dirty. And you stepped out the car and shit like that, and you wilding. You know you wasn't supposed to do that shit. You mean to tell me in Africa they don't have the talk? In America, they don't have the talk? Come on, man.
The cop talk. Okay.
I'm sure you talking about how don't fuck with black people. Don't fuck with African Americans. I'm sure you had to talk about that.
You going back? You going back to the Ethiopian thing now?
No. I'm just speaking factual. You had to talk about that before you enter America, right? So nobody told you about the cop talk, like, yo, you black regardless of the fact of what you think you identify as or what your cultural background is. You still a nigga, right,
brother?
Right?
I don't know what. No, I don't think people from the Congo come over here thinking they're niggas. I really don't.
Okay, that's not what I asked you. You don't think that people that see your black ass or the Congo black ass can tell the difference?
No, I think he looks like a good portion of people that I know, black men that I know.
Yeah, and from a white eye, use a nigga, and I try to control this
white
nigga
eye for sure.
And I try to control this nigga, and I couldn't control this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Man, I can't go back to the base and say I got my ass whipped by a nigga.
Bro, you gotta stop advocating for the devil.
Who the fuck is advocating for the fucking devil? You just got me snapping the fuck out. Who the fuck is advocating for fucking killing my people? I'm giving you logic of shit. He's not going to take the Schurr was not going to take a fucking ass whooping by a stronger African.
Clearly, we know this.
So he killed him.
Okay,
he murdered them.
Okay,
but this situation happened. The reason why this situation happened because he got it aggressively and not comply to the situation that was happening.
We agree.
You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Come on, man. You keep acting like I'm advocating for white people all the fucking time because I'm talking about logical shit.
No, white. That's not the logical.
Between that's a big difference, bro. Like, no, you gotta think critically about the situation.
Okay, no, you said logical. You said logical. The logical,
critical, all that shit.
Logical thing to do. The logical thing to do, as you said, was call for backup as soon as he gets out of the car.
And his logical ass, because he was illogical, because he was fucking drunk, was not to get out the fucking car.
He should not have gotten out of the car, even though we recognize there is a cultural void there because he barely spoke English, right? We heard him. He had to ask him if he spoke English.
Yeah.
So we know that there's a cultural divide there.
There's definitely a communication.
So what's the cultural divide, right? If God forbid, I go down to Mexico, I'm driving, I get pulled over in Tijuana. I stay in the car because that's what the fuck we know to do here. These motherfuckers in Spanish are telling me to get out the car. I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but I just know what the fuck to do where the fuck I'm from. So I'm sitting there with my hands like this, and these motherfuckers are thinking that I'm not listening to them and I'm not complying because I don't understand what the fuck they're saying. And then I'm fucking him if they do what the fuck the officer did. Recognizing that there is a cultural divide there, bro. Like we gotta, like you talk about logic. You're breaking down the logic that was going. You're breaking down the logic. You're breaking down the logic that was going through the white officer's head. And I feel you on that.
An officer's head.
Okay, well, the officer happens to be white. So excuse me, the white officer's head. Because you said that he recognized that he is a nigga and he didn't want to get whooped by a stronger nigga. So that's a white officer, bro. So you are articulating your view of what's going through the white officer's head as to why he killed him. And I'm articulating why it never should have fucking happened, because it was over a petty fucking crime that was non-violent, and literally he was not a threat. If somebody is running away from you like Jonathan Majors bitch ass, they're not a fucking threat. If I'm running away from you, unless I'm running away from you far enough to shoot your ass, I'm not a fucking threat.
You know cops chase people, right? How many New York undercover shows have you watched where Malik Yoba was chasing somebody down and shit like that to try to catch the motherfucker? Right? Or any type of black exploitation movie and stuff like that, when they see shit, the cops, and niggas take off running and these motherfuckers are chasing these motherfuckers. How many times when have a cop never chased the motherfucker, bro?
That's part of the problem. They want to be who they see on TV. Instead of not actual,
but
you
know they're gonna chase them.
The cops didn't chase anybody. The cops didn't chase anybody in Cotton Comes to Harlem. You remember? Cotton Comes to Harlem. But they didn't chase anybody. Those two cops, I can't remember their names, but they didn't chase anybody.
Will Smith didn't chase niggas. Mark Lawrence didn't chase niggas. Motherfucking TJ Hooker didn't chase niggas. Hell, he jumped over the motherfucking car.
No, they did.
Kojak don't even got no. They ain't chase niggas.
They did. So to that point, then why didn't if that was the case, then why didn't the cop get up and chase Lyoya?
He did chase Lyoya in the saddles.
How hard in Grand Rapids, Michigan? In Grand Rapids, not Houston, not Detroit, in Grand Rapids, do you think it would be to find a Negro from the Congo who left his car and cousin in the car and just ran off? Like, what? How hard do you think this nigga would be to find, bro? I could find him.
You think so?
I could find him. I promise you I could find him.
You could find him when on the aspect of being by the car?
No, I'm saying I could find him. I could find him.
6 foot black individual with green woolly shirt, sandals on. Well, he took his sandals off now, so he's running barefooted.
With some Killmonger locks? Yes, I could find that nigga. In Grand Rapids?
You know how many Killmonger lock niggas is out here in Grand Rapids?
7.
It's a lot.
17. Somewhere between 7 and 17. It's not that many. Bro, if there were more.
It's a lot. I remember a cop came to my bus. And said he was looking for an individual. He got on my bus and everything like that. And the dude had Carhartt jacket on, Carhartt pants and Timbs on. You know what I'm saying? So can I talk to you outside? So what I do is I need to talk to you outside. Couldn't find out it wasn't the guy he was looking for, because he was looking for somebody.
Radio.
A black dude. You know, could have been.
I got a picture of radio. I'll send it to you tomorrow.
All right, bet. Now I confirm if this motherfucker. Oh,
he was proposing to me. I'll send it to all y'all tomorrow.
Oh shit! Stay away from radio.
I got a question, because I know I joined when y'all would make conversation with this. Is there somebody that their name is actually Radio in Grand Rapids?
Yeah.
Or y'all just refer to him as Radio?
No, he referred to himself as Radio.
Yeah. Okay. So he called himself Radio.
Right.
Why does he call himself Radio?
The fuck?
I don't know.
He a rapper. That's his stage name.
Oh.
What's his name? What's his name? His rap album?
It's called Incarcerated Records. That's his record label.
That's hard right there. That makes me want to listen to that. They got nothing but time to write. I know they got some.
The dude killed Lyoya. That's very fucking unfortunate, and I hate that shit. And I'm tired of seeing that happen, because I know that If it was a white person, you would deal with him totally different. You would find another angle. You would use your verbal judo. You would use your resources to mitigate that situation, and shit might even buy him a motherfucking sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate this is still happening, but right now it's real, and I hope that he gets second-degree murder for murdering. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say that. I don't see it. Because they're gonna use the strategy of how he was trained in order to do that. They're gonna use a terminology like "stop the threat." My life was in danger, just like the situation that happened with fucking Trayvon Martin. He got his ass whooped and shit like that, and he was to the point where he can't get his ass whooped by a kid, and he fucking murdered him.
His ego is hurt.
His ego was hurt, and that's what happened with this human being that got a badge and fucking gun and tactical that's supposed to be a person that protects community, supposed to make righteous, conscious decisions and verbal judo and dealing in situations like that. He was a little fucking kid, because most of these fucking cops are little fucking kids that want to play cops and robbers. You know what I'm saying? That's the real situation. It's unfortunate that it's unfortunate that many people get fucking murdered. You know what I'm saying? And dynamics like that. But you got to stop putting yourself in fucking fucked up situations as well. Not everybody is fucking innocent. You know what I'm saying? Before they get into that situation, you know. And but when it comes to identity politics and everything like that, yeah, it's crazy because we kill each other on a regular fucking basis. You know what I'm saying? And nobody blinks a fucking eye. One fucking cop shoot this dude. You know what I'm saying? The whole world is enraged. Matter of fact, there's more white people enraged than us.
No, there's not. No, the fuck.
Come to Grand Rapids.
No.
Come to Grand Rapids.
No.
No.
If there are more white people enraged than us, then that further cements why I don't, bro. Like, that's insane. That's insane. That's insane. And that's why I don't play. Like, that's bro. Like, people think I'm extreme with shit. Like, I'm not extreme. Like, I just deal with motherfuckers that are extremely on the other side with shit. So, like, I have to provide a level of balance and shit. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, like, the mentality of the average black person in Grand Rapids and shit, man. Like, we're talking about all of this shit, and, like, nobody's talking about what we're going to do if this motherfucker gets off. You know what I'm saying? For what we know he was wrong for doing, and we know that nothing is going to happen because we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the connections, this and the third, to even have a level of recompense or retribution or whatever for the wrongdoings that happen to our community, man. Like, that's one of the, you know, and I love so many people in Grand Rapids, man. Like, I talk about it harshly because I love so many people there, man. But like, it is a place that Black empowerment just simply goes to die, man. Like, we lay down when it comes to shit. Even the riots you were talking about, man, those shits happened because white people were down there wilding, not us. And a lot of the white people that were down there wilding weren't even from Grand Rapids. You know what I mean? So that's why I said Grand Rapids fake ass riots, because like,
they coming back.
It's just not real. I'm sure it is, man. Like, I'm sure it is.
They coming back.
I'm sure it is.